welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Nick beside me, Ryan down below, and we are ready to break down some Monday sports. We'll be going over baseball all in one in last pitch, and then we'll break down the two Monday night football games. I'll start with baseball. I have one play in baseball today, and that is the Dodgers minus 1.5. Merrill Kelly has regressed a bit, while Kershaw is classic Kershaw. And the Dodgers are definitely a team I want to back. I may be adding the minus 2.5 as well, because I think the Dodgers could roll in this game. But I really like the Dodgers. Looking at the rest of the slate, Angels could be on the verge of sweeping the Mariners, but I don't really want to fade Gilbert, so I passed on that one. Astros and Rays, Garcia against Rasmussen. Rasmussen did not look good in his last start against the Jays, but previous to that have been playing really well. Garcia's winning games, giving up runs. So that's kind of a toss-up in my opinion as well. Cubs and Marlins, a lefty on the mound for the Cubs. I really want to take the Cubs first five, but Cubs didn't come through for me yesterday, first five, and I don't know, Miami, not a team I want to get to, not a game I want to get to. Detroit Tigers, Orioles, it would be a lean with the Orioles. They have to win pretty much every game going forward. Like, they need to win these games to have any chance. Nationals, Braves, I want to back the Braves, but not at the price that it is priced out of that game. Mets, Brewers, don't bet Mets games. If I was looking at anything, it would be towards under, but I'm sure I'd be priced out of that as well. Giants, Rockies, maybe over, but it's Coors Field, so again, probably looking at a really inflated total, so it's a pass there. And that's the MLB slate for me. I went through every game, and I just couldn't find action. And sometimes that's going to happen, especially at this time of the year. So I'm only on the Dodgers run line for now. But Nick and Ryan, I know you guys have some action. So we'll start with Nick. What do you think in today's baseball?
Yeah, you need to slow down. That is way too much baseball on your card today. But yeah, I'm so glad I ended up adding in the first five under in Cleveland, just for that to be dead at the end of the second inning, which was great. But I had the first five under 4 with Seattle and LA. I like the way Suarez and Gilbert's been pitching here. The line movement is kind of pointing my direction as well. So first five under 4, LA and Seattle. As you mentioned, Miami versus the lefty today. It's Wade Miley and it's Edward Cabrera. I really like Edward Cabrera as a pitcher here to go out there and shove. I like the first five under 3.5 there. I think that's a 0-0, 1-1 game at the end of 5 innings. I see that as runs will be a premium there. Next, we have I have the Tampa Bay Rays in the first 5 innings at minus 120. Yeah, I think it says something when you see the Astros as a dog. I think seeing the Astros as a dog is exactly like seeing the Dodgers as a dog. They're fade material because usually when they are dogs, they usually are dogs for a reason. So I am on the Rays in the first 5 innings at minus 120. I really like Rasmussen. I definitely think they have the pitching advantage over Luis Garcia. Also, the Astros really don't have much to play for right now. They've already locked in the division, and I believe they're pretty close to locking in the number 1 seed as well. So that's that. But I do like the Rays in that game just in the first 5 innings. Detroit, Baltimore, I end up getting on the over 8 in that game. Looking at these two pitchers, both have really struggled as of late. Tyler Wells has been getting hit a little bit, and so has Tyler Anderson. Anderson the last 30 days in the ERA above 8, 3.23 FIP, a 7.09 Sierra. So both these pitchers have been getting hit pretty hard lately. So I think we'll see runs in that game. And then the final one was it's probably going to turn some heads a little bit here. It's between the Mets and the Brewers. I'm on the over 6.5 in this game. And I know it's Corbin Burns and it's Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer's coming off of an injury here. I don't know what to expect from him. And Corbin Burns has been getting hit a little bit lately, which I can see the Mets putting up a couple runs against him. 3-3 and this over hits. And also, as a Mets fan, I lean towards the Brewers tonight. I think that this could be a game that the Brewers take from the Mets, even though the Mets, with a win tonight, lock down a playoff spot. I would lean towards the Brewers in this game more than the Mets if I had to. But I do like the over 6.5 in that one. That's all I got for baseball, though, today.
All right. We'll get to this comment. $300 on Dallas +7, and your guest laughed at me. Brian is a Dallas fan, so I don't think he was necessarily laughing at you. I think he was laughing at the fact that a lot of people didn't like Dallas. So I don't think he was laughing at you directly. But Richie, thanks for smashing the like button as always. Ryan, what do you think here? Last pitch for baseball.
So, yeah, I didn't get involved in football yet because there was so much on this baseball card that I liked that I focused my efforts on this. So I have nothing to contribute in football today. I may tail one of the picks on the show. I may do some capping later. But I really like today's card. And here's the plays that I'm looking at. I'm on the Angels' first 5, which is at plus money. Basically, the Mariners on a skid right now, and no Eugenio Suarez and no Julio Rodriguez, or he's day to day. So the Mariners have a poor lineup to begin with, and you take out a couple of their biggest bats, and this seems like pretty good value on a good pitcher as an underdog. And I want to take the bullpens out of the equation, so I went first 5 here. I'm also on the Tampa Bay in this spot. This is there's a couple teams with tough travel spots. Basically, the Astros don't get a travel day. Mets also don't get a travel day. And the way the Rays are playing, I want to back them. Also, the Astros are playing really well. They've been on a hot streak of their own. The thing is that when we get to this part of the season, we're probably not going to get the best of the Astros bullpen. They're not going to put Ryan Presley out on back-to-back days. So I don't think they're tanking or cruising through this game, but we just may not see the best of the Astros bullpen. And there's really good value on Tampa Bay in this spot, in my opinion. Also, I am on the Mets as a dog at plus 101. It's just a slight dog. I've backed Max Scherzer in a lot of spots. I'm not saying that he's not good at clutch situations, but he does well in all situations. He basically, his performances don't reflect the situation. So he'll have a really good game on a Monday night, and it's not critical. Then he'll have a mediocre game in a playoff game. So I'm backing Max Scherzer as a dog. Corbin Burns has a ton of innings already this year, and if you compare the bats between these two teams, there's so much in the Mets' favor here. I know they're a tough travel spot. I know the Brewers are playing better, and their backs against the wall. But this just seems like a really good value on the Mets as a dog. I'm also on the Dodgers run line. If you look at their stats, it's something like 8 of the last. They've won 8 out of 11, and most, not all of those, have covered the run line. They just have a good record in run line games. I don't think the Dodgers are playing for much. I don't think they have a chance to catch the Mariners' record of wins, which is like 117 or something. But they seem, for whatever reason, they seem to still be playing well. Best bullpen in the league. This just seems like a good spot to back the Dodgers. I am also bucking every trend and taking this Colorado Giants game over. The Giants have been on this huge underrun. The Rockies have also been on an underrun. But there seems to be a lack of quality and a lack of quantity in pitching in both of these teams. This pitching matchup is really bad. Junis and Cool, I believe, is for the Rockies. Both of either one of these teams could score 11 runs on their own. And also, there's perplexing. If you look at the bullpens, there's just lack of availability. The Rockies only have 4 pitchers in their bullpen. I don't understand it. I don't understand. So we'll probably see a farmhand, at some point. Usually in these sort of situations when there's not an available pitcher, someone gets called up. So we may see a farmhand do bulk relief in this game. This just looks like too much poor pitching, and I'm going over on this one.
Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea about that. That's very interesting about the. You want to have a lot of pitchers when you're in Coors Field. I don't think that's something you want to run out of his pitchers for sure.
And if anyone has any information on why the Giants only have 4 pitchers, or excuse me, the Rockies only have 4 pitchers in their bullpen, I'd like to know, because I looked at some of the pitchers on the roster. There's no news of injuries. Maybe there's a COVID outbreak and it didn't get reported. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they only have 4 pitchers in their bullpen.
Interesting. We'll go on along, and we'll BetStamp. Use code WILD when signing up. Follow me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. Make sure to use code WILD in the referral code section. Shop for lines, find the best lines for whatever you are betting. We'll go to Monday Night Football and start with this game, the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills. In this one, let me bring it up. You can currently find Tennessee plus 350 to plus 375. Buffalo minus 435 to minus 500. 10s right across the board now. 47 and a halves and a 48 in this game. How I look at it, the Bills had a few extra days to prepare for this game. Obviously, their first game was Thursday night of last week. So they have a couple extra days now playing on a Monday to prepare for this Titans team. The Bills looked pretty much as good as I expected them to in game one, backing them against the Rams. The Titans, I was high in this Titans team in the season preview show, saying that I think they would win the division for the 4th year in a row. I still think they have a shot at it with the division that they're in, and that's because that division is horrible. But I don't think they have a shot tonight. This Bills team improved on offense and defense. There's the revenge factor from the game last year. And speaking about last year, this Bills team hugely underperformed in some games last year. I think that's a focus for them, is to not do that this year and to be a bit more consistent. They were very consistent in game one. Yes, the line moved from -7 to -10. But for me, I think they win this by 21 or more. So I am on Bills, my -9.5, Bills -13.5, and Bills -16.5. I think they completely dominate this game from start to finish. I'm also on a Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown, as well as his receiving yards over 71.5. I really like the Bills in their business here. I think fading the Bills this season will be a losing situation if you fade this Bills team every game on the spread. That is. Nick, Titans, Bills. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, this line was 7 and it moved to 10, and I think that was a little of an overreaction. 3 points in the NFL. That's a lot of points for a line to move strictly on non-injuries, just on money, just on results and stuff like that. Without any injuries, 3-point line movements are ridiculous. I had this game at a 6.5 projected line. So I thought at 7, that's fine. 7, fine. I'm going to probably just look at the total and move on. 10, I'm not high on this Titans team at all. I don't know if the Bills are going to have enough possessions to cover 21 points if the Titans put up a couple points here. Because I'm expecting Derrick Henry to probably rush the ball 35 plus times tonight, and a heavy ground and pound attack by the Tennessee Titans to slow down this game, keep Josh Allen and that offense off to the field. And I think Tennessee probably has possession of the ball 38 to 40 minutes tonight. I see line value with the Titans here at 10. At 7, I didn't. At 10, I do. So I have the under 47.5 I had the Tennessee Titans plus 10, and I sprinkled a third of a unit on the money line at plus 350. I think potentially we could see an upset in this game. Don't be surprised if the Titans win this one straight up, because this is another big one where we see the Buffalo Bills looked absolutely amazing week 1 on prime time on Thursday night, the first game of the year. Everybody saw it. Are the Rams that good there this year? That win looked a little less impressive when the Falcons almost knocked off the Rams this weekend. So I'm not reading into that too much because I don't know if the Rams are even be that good this year. And then we have the Titans are coming in off of a loss. I remember looking back at this game Friday morning after week 1, thinking, because I loved the Giants last week, that when the Giants beat the Titans, this line's going to move to a 10. And then I'm going to turn around and bet the Titans because everybody's going to overreact because they lost and the Bills look good. So I'm going to take the Titans here plus 10. I think they potentially can win this game outright. Now, could this game easily be 17-0 Bills in the first quarter? Absolutely. Absolutely it could be. But I'm expecting them to follow the game plan of run the ball down the Bills' throat, keep Josh Allen off the field, and slow this game down and muck it up. Have this game be a 24-21 type of game. Because you're not going to go point for point with this Bills offense. So if you like the Titans, you like the under. If you like the Bills, you like the over. Give me the Titans and the under tonight.
All right. I think the Bills, especially with having the extra couple days practice time, they know exactly what Nick has said is true, is that Henry, all they have to do is focus on Henry. And if you can stop Henry, the Titans are absolutely out of luck. Because Tannehill is not going to win the game against Josh Allen. So I think the Bills' defense will focus heavily on Henry tonight. Can they stop him? They're not going to be able to completely stop him. One of the best running backs in
football for a reason.
Yes, they're not going to be able to completely stop him, but they will be able to slow him down. That's my prediction. And the Bills will take care of this game. Ryan, do you have any thoughts in the first Monday night game, Titans-Bills?
I cede my time to you all.
All right. We'll go to the second game, and then, of course, we'll get to best bets after. And we have the Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. You can get the Vikings plus 115 to plus 126. The Eagles minus 135 to minus 146. 2.5s, couple threes, 49.5s, 149. I was waiting to see last night's game with the Packers and the Bears to kind of see were the Vikings really that good in week 1, or was it Rodgers being that bad? I think Rodgers could have performed a bit better last night. But my thoughts here, this Eagles team allowed 35 points to the Lions. Yes, the Lions won yesterday, but the Lions are still not a good team. Now this Eagles team has to face what I think could be one of the best offenses in the league this year, and a team that surprisingly had a really good defense in week 1. Minnesota at plus money. I took it last week against Green Bay, and once again, we've got Minnesota plus money again. I don't think you're going to see Minnesota plus money very often after the next few weeks. So I'm, of course, taking Vikings, which I got a plus 125. I'm also on the team total over 23.5, which I got at minus 125. Justin Jefferson over 98.5 receiving yards, and Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. The price for that anytime touchdown has actually gone better. You can actually find it at minus 105. Minus 110 in some spots. That's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Now, the only thing I can say, the Eagles will probably be focusing on Jefferson. Most likely, they're going to be focusing on trying to stop him. And what that's going to do is leave Adam Thielen wide open. So you may want to look at some Adam Thielen props as well. I may add some Thielen props as well. But I think this is a game the Vikings win. And then next week it's the Lions. And I think the Vikings will be off to a great start to this season with their new coach. Nick, what do you think here? Vikings and Eagles.
I'm going to stay off the side. I think this line's perfect at 2.5. That's exactly where I had this game power ranked. It was 2.5 towards Philly. If you gave me 3 and a hook, I probably would have looked at the Vikings. If you gave me a pick 'em, I'd be on the Eagles. But looking at this spot here for me, I'm going to continue to ride a trend that I'm 5-0 so far on this year while backing, including a win last night in that Green Bay game, and I'm on the under. Primetime unders are 5-0 so far to start the season, so I'm right back on both the primetime unders tonight. Under 50 in this spot. I see this being a 23-21 type of game. I can see these two teams getting the running game a little bit more in to play with Dalvin Cook and Miles Sanders. So I can see these two teams. Also, I think the Eagles want to be more of a run first type of team because they have Jalen Hurts, which is a good scrambling quarterback. They got Miles Sanders, which is I want to say a top 15, if not top 10 running back in the NFL. He's a very underrated running back. So I can see this being a little bit more of a run heavy game potentially for both teams here. And this being a little bit of a lower scoring game. So I'm on the under 50 in this one. I think it's moved down a little bit as well, if I'm not mistaken. It's moved to, it went all the way down to 48.5 earlier. It's back up to 49.5. So a little bit of buyback on the over. But I do like under 50 in this spot here for me. Continuing to ride my primetime unders.
All right. Follow everyone in the description below. Make sure to give everybody a follow, and we'll move on along to the best bet segment. We'll go here just 1 second. Bring it up. We'll start with over under as we usually do. For me, no total today. I did give out on the NFL show the Vikings team total over, so I'm not going to go back to that again. I'm not going to double dip on that one. Nick, you are going Mets and Milwaukee over 6.5, minus 107. Tim is going with Buffalo, team total under 29.5, minus 105. And Dave and Ryan are going head to head. Dave is taking San Francisco, Colorado under 11. Ryan is taking San Francisco, Colorado over 11.
Time for 6-5 Giants.
Hey, if it's a push, everyone's unhappy, I guess, but we'll see what happens. Dog of the day for me here, no big surprise. Minnesota Vikings. Nick and Tim, no big surprise. Well, it is kind of a big surprise if you watch the season preview show, but Tennessee Titans for Nick and Tim. Dave is going with the Houston Astros, plus 106. And Ryan, you're going with the Angels first 5, plus 101. And going on to best bet, for me, it is Vikings plus 3. Nick, you are going Tampa Bay Rays first 5 money line, minus 115. Tim is going with the Tennessee Titans plus 10. Dave is going with Minnesota Philadelphia over 49.5. And Ryan is going with the New York Mets money line plus 101. And that is today's show. We'll quickly look at the comments here. Russell Wilson stinks. Says, let's go Titans and Eagles. FanDuel Boost has Jefferson touchdown. Vikings to win. Fade the boost. I don't know if Canada has that. I don't think so because FanDuel Canada has different boosts. But I would be taking that. IceX. I bet the boosts. I love betting boosts because if you actually think it's going to cash, I don't fade the boosts. Some boosts are there. If you just see it and you're like, oh, that looks good, I'm going to bet it. Yeah, you might lose. But if you're actually on both of those plays, like I am, money line and touchdown, it makes sense to like the boost. But just my opinion.
I love that there's a username there. Russell Wilson stinks. Apparently, let Russ cook means let him burn cereal. Apparently, because that feels like that's what that offense is doing so far this season.
I don't know. I think coaching has a huge thing to do with it. But
I'm already looking Niners for Sunday night next week.
I'm actually looking the other way. I think I like the Broncos next week.
Well, there we go. Speaking of next week, tune in Wednesday for our NFL show, which we'll be going over all of next week's games. Tune in about half hour from now as we look over the Nashville Predators. Obviously, tomorrow, the baseball show at 3. And then finally, the rescheduled Minnesota Wild show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. I think we're going to have a packed house for that one. I can't wait to go over the Wild. So make sure to tune into that. Best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. Smash like button if you like the content, and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Best of luck to everyone in your bets. Have a good day, guys.